In that video, I am talking about acceptance of value. Basically, there are 4 techniques we use to assign a value to a variable, or you can say you can accept value or values for program purpose. So one is direct initialization, second one is through method parameter, third one is using buffer reader class, and fourth one is using scanner class. Direct initialization, in this process you assign value at the starting of the program. Okay, int I equals 5, double D equals 1.345. It means before compiling the program, value assigned to a variable, that is known as direct initialization or dynamic initialization. Next topic, through method parameter. If you pass value or values in the method in the line of method header, that is called parameter or argument. It is not the actual definition, it is just for a formal definition. Okay, with using parameters you can easily assign value to a variable, or you can easily access those values. Okay, so the class is hello Java, public static void main int a comma int b. Those are the parameters, that is the method header line, and I pass few variable, that is a and b, two variable, and the data type will be int. You have to write like this. So int c equals a plus b. Here I use the value of a and b. That means a and b get value through method parameter. Finally, println sum of two numbers is c. In this part, a and b both are work as argument and the accept value for program purpose. Okay. Next one is using buffer reader class. Nowadays, buffer reader are not used in ICSE syllabus. Okay. Because mostly they use scanner class, and scanner class is a little bit easier. You have to write less, but really my favorite is buffer reader class. So with using this technique you can easily able to tell user about input. Following steps you have to follow. First, import IO package. So where you have to import, I will discuss in the next video. But what do you mean by import IO package? You have to write like this: import space java.io.star semicolon. Okay. Next line, write throws IO exception in the line of input method. Looks like public static void main string args throws IO exception. So you know about the public static void main string args. So you have to write throws IO exception in that line. Next line is create object of input stream reader class. Looks like input stream reader ISR equals new input stream system.in. Actually system.in is a buffering concept and ISR is the object form. See, create object of input stream reader class. So input stream reader is a class, ISR is object form. You can use different any name. ISR can be any name. I use ISR because input I, stream S, reader R. That means I use ISR. New input stream system.in. You have to write like this. You just able to change ISR. Now create object of buffer reader class with using object of the input stream reader class. Then buffer reader br. Br is the object. It can be any name. I use br as buffer and reader r br. New buffer reader ISR. ISR is the object of input stream reader. So you have to pass ISR in that section. Next one, write an introductory line for the user about the input. means should not println enter a number or enter a sentence or enter a character or enter a decimal number, enter something. Just tell user that he have to enter something, or like enter the salary of the employee, enter the name of the student, etc, etc. Write proper buffer function to store the value. So int namicos interior %br.readline. So that is a function. Discuss the next slide. So you have to write these 6 statements you have to follow. Just the violet colored lines you have to write in your code, not as repeated lines, proper lines in proper areas. Using buffer data class, this following functions we use to accept different types of values. So data type isn't, when you have to accept the int data type, you have to write like this: integer.parseInt_br.readline. When you have to accept a long value, you have to write long.parseLong_br.readline. You have to accept a float value, float.parseFloat_br.readline. When you have to accept double value, double.parseDoubleBr.readline. Just see, every time dot parse is the same: long, float, double, br.readline the same, just integer and int. Next, character. If you want to store a character, then you have to write like this: sentence, word or string, br.readline. And one more thing, br.readline is a string value, and with the use of integer %, or long.parseDouble, float.parseFloat, or double.parseFloat, those are the kind of conversion that is explicit conversion. br.readline is the string value, and with using these functions there is a conversion technique. Okay, so these few methods you have to use to store this kind of data types. Now, using scanner class. With using this technique, you can easily able to tell the user about input. Same line, copy from the last slide. So first you have to write import util package. So line will be import space java.util.start semicolon. Next line, next part, create an object of scanner class. Scanner sc equals new scanner system.in. Write an introductory line for the user. That means enter a number, enter a name, enter the salary of the employee, and etc. Write proper scanner function to store the value. As it is a number, I write int namicos sc.nextInt. Okay, so you see, in buffer data you have to write 6 lines and bigger lines. Now you have to write only 4 lines. So scanner class is most popular nowadays, and ICSE follows this scanner class also. Now finally, using scanner class, these functions we use when we have to accept int, following functions we have to use. If we write scanner sc equals new scanner, then we have to use sc object form. sc.nextInt, long becomes sc.nextLong, float becomes sc.nextFloat, double becomes sc.nextDouble, character becomes sc.next.caret0. If you want to accept a sentence, then few changes. Sentence as a string. Okay, then if you want to accept a sentence as a string, then you can use sc.nextLine. If you want to use word as a string, then use this part, that is sc.next. Means word, then next multiple words, it means next line. So that is the acceptance of value. Good. So it is the example of buffer test. Okay, the first part is write import space java.io.star. This is the first point. Second point is throws IO exception in the input method. So here input method is statement. Next part is input stream reader ISR equals new input stream system.in, means create an object of input stream reader class. Next one, create an object buffer reader class with using input stream reader class object. So input stream reader class ISR object is passed at here. Okay, and with the using of ISR I create an object that is BR. Finally, a statement for the user, enter a whole number. Finally, storage. If you have to store integer, you have to write like this: integer.br.readline. Enter a long number, long L equals long.parseLong br.readline. Enter a float number, float.parseFloat br.readline. Enter a double.parse_double br.readline. Enter a sentence, just variable equals br.readline, and enter a character char.br.read. Okay, now I compile and now main, enter a number 456, enter a long number. I use a 10-digit number minimum. Just think, an integer number can hold maximum 9 digits. More than 9 digits if possible is, then use long. 765432198. Float number 5.678. Enter a double. Enter a sentence, my name. Enter a character P, initial of my nickname. So that is the output. Integer number 456, long more than 10, float number, double, character, and a string. Okay, so that is the example of buffer reader class objects. Another one is scanner. So in that section, first we have to write import space java.ud.star. Next one, you have to create an object of the scanner class. Finally, introductory line and proper storage. So here storage equals for int sc.nextInt, for long sc.nextLong, float number sc.nextFloat, enter a double sc.nextDouble, enter a sentence sc.nextLine, enter a character sc.next.character0, and I use another enter a word. sc.next float number double 5.63 something, enter a sentence, actually it is enter a word, so I use my nickname and enter a character P. So those are, if you want to accept word P, number, long, float, double. So these few things I have to write, these functions. So that is the proper lines you have to maintain. That's the end of this video. Bye bye.